Falling in love is exciting, but staying in love, that's an art. And here's the uncomfortable truth. No matter how perfect someone seems on day one, the butterflies will eventually fly away. The question is, when they do, will you still choose them? Most people are obsessed with the beginning of love, the first dates, the sweet messages, the late night calls where you lose track of time. But real relationships aren't built in those moments. They're built on the days when you're tired, stressed, or not feeling particularly romantic. And you still choose to show up for that person. We've been sold this idea that love is a constant state of bliss, like some movie montage where everything just falls into place. But here's the reality. Love is not a fairy tale you stumble into. It's a choice you make over and over again. And when you understand this, your relationships stop being accidental and start being intentional. Let's talk about the 4 truths that prove love is a daily decision. So if you want love that lasts, stop searching for a perfect, unshakable feeling. Start building a habit of choosing to show up, to be kind, to keep growing, to keep loving, even on the days it's not easy. Love is not magic. Love is not luck. Love is a daily decision. And the most beautiful relationships are the ones where both people wake up every morning and make that choice again and again. If you want, I can now turn this into a more emotionally charged YouTube script version with natural pauses, hooks, and audience engagement lines, so it sounds like you're talking directly to the listener. That way it will have maximum watch time impact. At the start of any relationship, everything feels electric. You're drawn to them without even trying the way they laugh, the spark in their eyes, the little quirks that make them unique. That's chemistry, and it's intoxicating. It sweeps you up without warning and makes you believe that as long as you feel this way, everything will work out. But here's the truth: most people don't want to hear chemistry is only the beginning. It's the spark that lights the fire, but a spark can't keep you warm forever. Eventually, that initial rush fades, not because the love is gone, but because no human being can maintain that constant high. Life happens, stress happens, you see each other without the polish, without the effort of first impressions. And in those moments, what will carry your relationship forward isn't the rush of feeling, it's the decision to keep choosing each other. Feelings are powerful, but they are also unpredictable. One day you might wake up deeply in love, grateful for the person beside you. The next day, you might feel irritated because they left the dishes in the sink, or because they said something that rubbed you the wrong way. If your treatment of them depends entirely on those feelings, your relationship will always feel unstable. This is why the strongest couples aren't the ones who never fight or never get annoyed. They're the ones who have learned to act with love, even when they don't feel loving in that moment. That means speaking respectfully instead of snapping, choosing patience instead of escalating, showing support even when you're not in the mood. Think of it like maintaining a garden. In the beginning, everything is fresh and beautiful because it's new. But over time, weeds will grow, the soil will need water, the flowers will need care. If you only tend the garden when you feel like it, it will wither. But if you commit to nurturing it every single day, even when the weather isn't perfect, it will thrive. Love works exactly the same way. The choice to keep investing through kindness, through patience, through showing up is what sustains it. And ironically, when you keep making those choices, the feelings often return stronger than before. That's why love isn't about waiting for the perfect mood or the perfect moment. It's about deciding every single day, I choose you, and letting that choice guide how you act, how you speak, and how you treat the person you care about most. Big romantic gestures are beautiful: the surprise dinner reservations, the weekend getaways, the bouquet of flowers delivered out of the blue. They make for great stories and unforgettable memories. But those moments, as magical as they are, can't carry a relationship on their own. What truly keeps love alive are the small, consistent actions that often go unnoticed but quietly build an unshakable foundation. These are the moments that don't make it to Instagram but matter the most: saying good morning before rushing off to work, remembering how they like their coffee, checking in during a busy day just to say you were thinking of them. These small acts may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they become the daily proof of love. The danger in many relationships is the belief that once you've said "I love you" enough times, the other person will just know it forever. People stop showing the small signs of affection they once gave freely. They stop looking each other in the eyes when they talk, stop giving genuine compliments, stop asking questions because they assume they already know the answers. But love doesn't run on autopilot. It's like a fire. If you stop adding wood, it slowly dies down until there's nothing left but cold ashes. The couples who understand this keep feeding the fire with little, intentional gestures every single day. It's also important to realize that these actions don't have to be grand to be powerful. Listening without checking your phone, holding their hand in public, laughing at their jokes even if you've heard them before, leaving a note in their bag before they leave for work, these are the threads that weave closeness. They say, "I see you, you matter, you're worth my time and attention." And that message, repeated over and over through consistent actions, creates a bond that is incredibly difficult to break. On the flip side, neglecting those small acts doesn't just make love fade slowly, it creates distance. It makes the other person feel unseen, taken for granted, or even unappreciated. Over time, resentment can creep in, not because there was a huge fight, but because the daily connection eroded bit by bit. That's why love as a daily decision means making the effort even on ordinary days, especially on ordinary days. Because when you keep showing up in those small ways, you're telling your partner without words, "You're still my choice, today, tomorrow, and every day after that." Every relationship will face moments when the warm, easy flow of connection is interrupted by conflict, stress, or outside pressures. It might be a disagreement that lingers longer than it should, a season where work and responsibilities drain your energy, or a personal struggle that makes it harder to give your best self to your partner. In those moments, it's tempting to withdraw, to let frustration dictate your actions, or to protect yourself by creating distance. But these are the exact moments where love as a daily decision is tested the most. Choosing love in hard moments doesn't mean pretending everything is fine or ignoring problems. It means deciding to handle those challenges with patience, empathy, and commitment, even when emotions make it difficult. When tensions rise, the natural instinct is often to defend your position or prove your point. But in a healthy relationship, the goal isn't to win the argument, it's to protect the connection. That doesn't mean you avoid difficult conversations. It means you approach them with the mindset of us against the problem, not me against you. Choosing to stay calm when you want to lash out, listening to understand instead of just to reply, and being willing to compromise are all conscious decisions that keep love intact during storms. These actions don't happen automatically. They require self-control and a commitment to the bigger picture of the relationship. It's also about staying present. In tough moments, people often retreat emotionally, giving the cold shoulder or pulling away to punish the other person. But that silent distance only deepens the divide. Love as a choice means staying engaged even when you're upset, saying, "I'm hurt right now, but I'm not going anywhere." That reassurance is powerful because it tells your partner that the relationship is stronger than the temporary struggle. Hard moments can also be opportunities for deeper connection if you approach them with the right mindset. When you choose to work through problems together, you build trust. You show that your love isn't dependent on everything being perfect, it's resilient, adaptable, and capable of weathering challenges. And often, those difficult seasons become the very chapters that strengthen the relationship most. Choosing love in those moments doesn't just solve the problem in front of you, it creates a history of facing life side by side, proving that your bond is something worth fighting for again and again. Love isn't just about choosing the same person every day, it's about choosing to grow with them. People evolve over time. The person you fell for in the beginning may not be exactly the same a few years later. They might have new goals, different perspectives, or habits they didn't have before, And you'll change too. Life experiences, challenges, and personal growth all shape who we become. The danger comes when one or both partners expect the relationship to stay exactly as it was in the early days. That expectation can create disappointment or frustration when, in reality, change is inevitable. But when you understand love as a daily decision, you see change not as a threat, but as a chance to rediscover each other. Growth in a relationship means being curious about your partner, even after years together. It's asking new questions, learning about their evolving dreams, and supporting them as they take on new challenges. It's realizing that you're not just committing to who they are now, but also to the person they're becoming. That requires flexibility and openness, because growth doesn't always happen in the same direction or at the same pace for both people. Sometimes, one person is ready to take big leaps, while the other is still finding their footing. Choosing love means making space for those differences and finding ways to adapt together. It also means being willing to grow yourself. You can't expect your partner to keep evolving while you stay exactly the same. Love thrives when both people are committed to becoming better versions of themselves, not just for their own sake, but for the health of the relationship. That could mean improving communication, breaking old habits that cause tension, or developing new skills to support each other more effectively. When you approach love this way, you're essentially falling in love over and over again, not with the memory of who your partner was, but with who they are today. You keep discovering new things to admire, new qualities to appreciate, and new reasons to choose them. This mindset prevents the relationship from going stale, because it keeps you engaged in an ongoing journey rather than clinging to a static picture of the past. Love as a decision means embracing change as part of the adventure, knowing that if you keep choosing each other through every version of yourselves, your bond will only deepen with time. Love is often romanticized as this magical force that effortlessly carries two people through life, but in reality, lasting love is far more intentional than that. It's not just the rush of attraction you feel in the early days or the grand gestures that make for good memories. It's the conscious, repeated decision to keep showing up for each other every single day. Feelings may start the journey, but they can't carry it alone. They rise and fall, they get tested by life's challenges, and they can be influenced by stress, fatigue, or frustration. What keeps love steady is the deliberate choice to nurture it through words, actions, and attitudes that show your partner they matter, even when it's not convenient or easy. Everyday love is built in the smallest of moments. It's not about perfection or endless passion, it's about consistency. The little things often speak louder than dramatic declarations. A soft good morning, a genuine compliment, a hand held in silence, an ear offered when the other person needs to talk. These are the daily investments that, over time, create a relationship strong enough to weather life's storms. When you keep putting in these small acts, you send a powerful message. You're still my choice, not just when it's exciting, but on the days when love requires effort. And that is what separates relationships that last from those that fade. Choosing love becomes even more significant in the hard seasons when you're hurt, when misunderstandings build, or when life pulls you in different directions. In those moments, it's tempting to let pride, ego, or frustration take control. But love as a decision means putting the relationship first, staying connected instead of retreating, and choosing empathy over anger. It's standing beside your partner, not against them, even when you don't fully agree. And it's in those very moments of difficulty that the deepest trust is formed, because your partner learns that your love is not conditional on everything being perfect. Finally, true love is not about holding onto the person you met. At the beginning, it's about continually falling in love with who they become. People change, and that's not something to fear. It's something to embrace. Growth allows both partners to explore new depths of connection, to evolve as individuals while staying united as a team. When you make the decision to grow together, to adapt, to keep discovering each other, you create a love that is both fresh and enduring. In the end, the most beautiful relationships are not those that simply happen, they are the ones where two people wake up every morning, look at each other, and decide, once again, I choose you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I truly appreciate every single one of you who listens, reflects, and grows alongside these messages. If this speech spoke to your heart, I hope you carry it with you and apply it in your own relationships. Remember, love is not just something you feel, it's something you choose. Before you go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss more inspiring talks like this. Your support means the world to me and helps these words reach someone who might need them today. Take care of yourself, choose love every day, and keep building the kind of connection that lasts a lifetime. Until next time, stay kind, stay committed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and much love to you all. ****.